Hi, Bill here with 30 Minute Wood Shop. Thanks for joining. Halloween's around the corner, and today I want to show you how to make a Halloween luminaire. Now, a lot of people make these things, but usually they're one-offs and they're one-trick ponies. The one I'm going to show you today, you can do a lot of different things with it, and I think it's a little bit better. All right, and the great thing is you can involve your kids in doing this. All right, so it's a great kid project, you know, and it's one of those projects that it keeps on giving once you manufacture or make this thing. Now, as always, you can always get a dimension sketch for the project, and this project actually comes with a couple of them because there's a couple patterns here for some ghosts that you can cut into the panel, okay, along with the basic dimension sketch for the box. All right, you can even do pumpkins and things like that if you want. So, go down here, 30minutewoodshop.com. You can find those. Also, go to the bottom here. Hit more, and you can find some links and things that I use, tools and stuff, and links to my blogs. And on that note, let's talk about materials. Okay, materials. Pretty straightforward here. I'm using a fence picket, and the reason I'm using a fence picket because they're cheap. Okay, and that's really all you need. I don't need to have pay a lot of money for a piece of 1x6 or 1x8 or whatever. Fence pickets work out perfectly, and these particular fence pickets are just under 6 inches and just under 3/4 of an inch thick. So I can get my entire luminaire out of this. I also have this piece of backing, it's 1/4 inch plywood. Now, normally I would have a whole piece, but this is left over, so I'm going to actually piece it together in the back. It should work out pretty good. All right. With all that said, let's go over to the saw and start cutting. Okay, as always, make sure you're wearing hearing protection, eye protection, before you get started, and let's make some cuts. The next thing I want to do is I want to cut a rabbet, the edge of the plane, or the edge of the boards. That's going to be where my back panel is going to sit. So let's do this. I got it set up for 1/4, so we'll do 1/4 by 1/4. Pull off some of the scrap. Now I've got to cut a rabbet in here, or a dado, I mean. What that's going to be is it's going to be a groove along here so I can slide the panel in. So next thing I got to do is I got to cut one of these. I got to cut off completely, okay? Because what's going to happen is that the piece slides in from the top. Have all the parts done. Basically what I'm going to be doing is butt joining, and butt joining actually more like that. In butt joining, I'm not even using for this project any glue. All right, this is an outdoor project. It's going to be sitting out in the garden for a couple of weeks, maybe at most, maybe some rain. I'm not too worried about it. It'll last about five or 8 years, and I'll be making something new. All right. So to do that, what I'm going to do here is on the sides, because I'm basically butt joining the bottom and the top to the sides. All right. All I've done is that I put a couple marks in here, because this is a 3/4 inch piece, or almost 3/4. I put it in 3/8, and I'm going to, because this is Western red cedar, okay, if I try and drive a screw through it this close to the edge, most likely it'll split. So I'm going to pre-drill with a countersink. And you can see how fast that goes into this Western red cedar. It's like butter. So I'll finish putting this up, and we'll do work on assembly. All right, all we do now is drive a couple screws in. All I've done here is I basically put a clamp here just to hold the parts together, got them all arranged. The important thing about this project is this. All right, this groove up here, got to be lined up all the way down, because you're going to basically slip a panel down right down the center of this thing. If they don't line up, you got a problem. So line that up, you can figure everything else out. I'm using a impact driver In this, I really don't need it, so be careful you don't overdrive these. Very easy to overdrive in this really soft wood. Okay, 4 screws. Now what I need to do is put the back on, all right? And as I said, I'm using a piece of leftover, so I'm going to piece together a back here. I'll be back in a second. Next thing we want to do here is, so I'm not using big heavy lights in this thing. So to make that thing shine pretty well, I'm going to take some aluminum foil and put it inside. To do that, I'm going to spray in some adhesive and just lay the stuff in, let it sit. All it's got to do is coat the area. It's perfect. So, by the way, you can see I got the back done. So let's do a quick spray and start laying this in. Oh, this stuff smells bad. So I recommend a 3M spray. And there we go. It's about all it takes. Just enough to get a lot of reflected light from those tall. I'm using these small battery-operated tea light candles. By the way, this is a great time to say, do not put live flame in this at all. Use a battery-operated light, however that light is. So let me finish this up, and I'll be right back. All right, this is where we make things kid-friendly. Now, normally in this, what we normally do with this thing is we put in a 1/4 inch piece of plywood and we cut it out with a jigsaw or a scroll saw or coping saw or something like that, which I'm going to do, all right? But to make this kid-friendly, and kids can use, by the way, kids can use scroll saws really easily, so it's worth the $150 investment. If you want to do 2 or 3 of these things, get a kid on a scroll saw. Can't hurt himself. You might break a couple of blades, but you can't really hurt himself, and they're pretty cheap. You can find one, matter of fact, you can find them usually used for like 75 bucks on Marketplace or eBay or wherever. You don't want to pay shipping for these things, but what can I say? And you don't need anything too big, okay? But here's what you do. This thing is also designed to be used with cardboard. So you cut a piece of cardboard that fits. I left a little tab on top so I can pull it in and out. Don't have to do that, but it's easier for me. Put on wherever you want. You can see I'm not an artist, but we'll go ahead and cut this out with a utility knife. And then what we'll do, I'll give a quick spray of black or orange paint. I think I'm going to use black, so I'm going to have this out at night. And I'll put the tea lights in it and then light those things up, and you can see what it looks like. So let's cut a little bit. By the way, another way to do this, if you don't want your kids handling a sharp knife, all right, is cut out a frame and then let them do it in paper and then glue the paper on here, okay? Just make sure it's heavy construction paper so most of the light shines through the holes and not through the paper. But pretty straightforward, very easy to do for your kids. They'll have a great time doing it. You can change it out every year. God, you can change it out every 2 days or 3 days. So you can have them come home from school, cut something up, put it in there for that night, take some pictures with them and their new creations. And they can also, paint this orange and put all kinds of things on it. So So let me finish cutting this and I'll be back in a second. What a fast and easy project. And a perfect project for kids. I'll tell you what, I screwed this together, but you can actually do this with nails. Kids that love pounding the nails in. And then of course, making the face, and this is all totally interchangeable. I use cardboard here. You can also use, if you want, you can use 1/4 inch plywood. Cardboard's easier because you can interchange it. Kids can make this stuff very easily. Or if you're really going crazy and your kids are really young, you can make a frame, right? And then just paste on a piece of black construction paper with their cutouts on it. So super easy, super great, perfect for Halloween. You could make these things with the kids every night and change them out. Kids can see them, they love them. Right now I actually have an electric candle in here. I tried these tea lights, and these are pretty old tea lights. They didn't provide enough light, so I had to use an electric candle. But super easy to do. Like I said, I think you guys should make one of these. Outstanding opportunity. Like always, if you want the dimension sketch, jump down here to 30minutewoodshop.com. You can find that. Super easy. Also hit more. You can find links to my blogs, links to my Etsy store, those kind of things. Check out some of the tools and things that I use. You might find that kind of interesting. And hey, I hope you guys got something out of this. This really is a great kid project that you can either build with your kids or have them make just the inserts. Super simple. If you got something out of this, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. And folks, until next time, hey, good making.